Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is episode 14. Last time we did a couple of companion quests with Emmerich and Tosh, and also obtained our 5th wolf statuette, and we've got one more to obtain, and we're able to get that today. We're able to do that by unlocking the Elvenon's Haven routes with the champion essence that we've obtained. So we're going to be doing that today, but we're starting off in the Lighthouse, of course, because we have companions to talk to. Just quickly, I was having some technical issues recording that I noticed, especially in the last episode. But over the past few episodes, there's been a slight issue where it's been capturing like my Steam and NVIDIA overlay stuff, when it shouldn't, and it's only Dragon Age that does it. The other games I've been capturing haven't been showing it. So I've been doing a lot of troubleshooting, and I've kind of managed to fix it, but not really. But it was also stuttering and screen tearing on the recording, which shouldn't happen because the game was fine. No screen tearing, no visual issues whatsoever, and usually it's the other way around. If you get some screen tearing, the recording doesn't pick that stuff up. So it was a little bit strange, but I've done some troubleshooting and should have resolved the issue. So if it looks weird last episode, I apologize for that. There were some moments especially where I was like, this sucks. Because what is that? Because I can't even notice while I'm gaming because it's not on my screen. But alas, we will continue. So let's talk to our companions in the Lighthouse. See what they got to do.
Hey, Davrin. We gotta talk about Solas's magic memory thing.
What? Why?
Why didn't you tell me you were a spirit?
Because I'm not.
I thought we were friends.
I'm not a spirit, Tosh.
Is that because people might think you're a demon? Because I'm from Ravain. We're okay with spirits.
But apparently not with listening. I am not a spirit.
Hey, you don't have to be ashamed of who you are.
Never said I was. But thank you, Tosh.
Tosh is projecting. You don't have to be afraid of who you are, and that's because Tosh needs that to be said to her. Interesting. You didn't tell me you're a spirit. I only just found out that we came from spirits 5 minutes ago. That's a bit of a silly train of thought. Be like, if I was a spirit, I think I would know, and maybe I would have told you. I am a physical elf.
Are you doing all right, Rook? Don't forget to take breaks, okay?
You know what's absolutely crazy? I want Varric's opinions on these revelations, right? Get him a chair, pull it up.
Do you think more spirits could ever become elves?
As our world changes over the ages, so do the Fade's inhabitants. I suspect they'd look quite different.
So not, say, elves with wings, like a bird's or a bat's?
It seems unlikely.
Let me just drop down here. The Inquisitor would be proud. Harding has a... Oh, what's this? Oh, right. Today is Dragon Age Day. So they're putting in... I saw the post about it. They're putting in the Dragon Age 2 armor and facial cosmetic. I forgot. Another surprise gift. Washed up in the Lighthouse. Not sure whether it's just luck or if we have a friend in the Fade who wants to help. Kirkwall's finest. Happy Dragon Age Day. I don't know if I get the face paint because I'm a Canary, but it's face paint, so we should be able to. Maybe it gets added in a different part of the menu, but we have Kirkwall's finest appearance, so we can pop that on. I want to go see that. But yes, it's a Dragon Age Day. So they celebrated with that, and apparently they've done a developer Q&A, which I'll be able to look at in its entirety when I finish the game myself, because I'm sure that it will cover a lot of elements that I am not ready to engage in. From Kirkwall with love, disparate parts from desperate battles joined together like a team of misfits, stronger together than alone. And it looks good, doesn't it? Oh, I like that I can have some armor that shows off my arm tattoo. Hell yeah, we got good looking armor that can show off the body tat. I'm a big fan of that. There we go. Do I have... Well, it wouldn't be a Vitar, that's the issue. So I have my Mass Effect one on that I can turn on and off. It's interesting that when you put the Vitar on, it also takes off your face paint. You can't have both. It's definitely interesting. Let me see, because maybe it's in my magical... Maybe it's in the magical mirror, but it might also be... maybe like human specific, or it might just be for everything but Canary, because that's usually how it goes. Canary get different stuff on their face. Would they add it in here? It would be like paint. You got like paint style. I would... Yeah, it is. There it is. That is the paint. There you go. And you can change the color of it to something that kind of suits you a bit. Unfortunately, you can't really take off that, like the yellow. See, even when you put it here, it's got a yellow glitter to it that you can't adjust. Some of the paints have that, and I wish that you could kind of change that color. But we'll go for... the red is a bit much, so we want to turn down that intensity. What's the yellow? There we go. So I can turn down that intensity. Oh god. Which is kind of the issue, because that's the main part of the hawk symbology, but I can't really... Because even if you select a dark color and change that intensity, you see how it's still yellow? Because it's got a base color underneath it, but then the glitter on top of it. So you can't really get what you want unless if you change it to just straight up yellow. And then take the intensity down. But I think we'll go without it. But that is the hawk paint that you can put on the face. So we have a nice mixture of Kirkwall armor out in the field, Mass Effect armor while we're at home in the casual wear. That's fun. I like that. Lucanus and Nev are having a conversation.
Hi there, boy.
You know, there are rooms besides the pantry.
I'm fine as I am. Really.
All right, as long as you're sure.
As long as you're sure. Now, let's see what Harding wants, because Harding has the big exclamation mark dialogue.
Hey, Harding.
Oh, Rook, hi. Is there something you need?
You're upset.
But I'm not...
You've been sitting in here by yourself. It's Solus's memory, isn't it?
They stole Titan blood to walk the world like humans. And when the Titans didn't like that, they just took their spirits. Should I be angry or sad? Why aren't I angrier? It's a lot to handle.
There's really no right way to feel. You've been through a lot.
You're right. Maybe I just need time. And a snack. It's strange. I don't hate Solus for this, even though a part of me thinks I should. I don't even want revenge. Revenge won't bring the Titans back. It can't erase what happened. And the Inquisitor thinks Solus can be saved. And I want to try. But I just want to talk. As equals. I wonder if he's even capable. Solus was always distant. Guess it's hard to react when a magic rock's talking at you. Anyway, thanks for checking on me. I'll be alright.
I know. You're Lace Harding, child of Titans. You can handle anything.
Oh, shut up.
I like this character arc. I think it's a really interesting pathway for Harding, because Harding being a fan favorite Inquisition character, then becoming a companion and having this really personal journey in relation to the discovery of what happened to her people in history is great. It really is great, because if we didn't have a dwarven companion, that element would be solely missing, because Varric doesn't count because he's bedridden and he's not partaking in the revelations. So having a companion in our team that's feeling that so deeply in terms of what's happened to the dwarves is really great. And this is why having so many different companions from different walks of life adds a lot of flavor into a narrative like this, where there's so many different parts of Thedas that have been affected by these movements. And being a Canary is interesting because almost by default, being a Canary means you're kind of excluded from things, because Canary, we learn about them, we read about them, and it's now one of those big parts of Thedas we haven't got to visually see. We've just kind of heard about it. And if we're going to go with the Dragon Age theme of we hear about places and read about them for so long and we get taught about them, but then once we actually go there, you see for yourself what it's like. That's the thing that I keep thinking about, because we've come to Vinter, we've come to Navarra, and we have like these, I thought that stuff was like this. Now, like, that's just what the South thinks, or that's just like assumptions or presumptions, or there's truth into it, but it's actually a bit like this. I'd be super curious to see what places like Saharon and Parvolan are like in that sense. I'd really, really like to go there, and being a Canary character, it would be amazing too. But our Canary character was raised in Navarra as a baby, so there's these different elements that when you pick a Canary character, you don't have as much connection into this part in terms of like the elves, how they're so deeply connected to the forests that they reside in, and the dwarves in the underground, and even getting a surface dwarf perspective on being exiled because, you know, they've gone away from underground and stuff like that. I hear that I haven't personally seen what it's like because we went for an elf in Inquisition, but I've read and heard that the Canary in Inquisition was very, very half-baked, so I don't know how the comparison is with the Canary in this game. I am quite happy with our Mornwatch connections, and we can make a couple of Canary comments between Tash and myself, so that feels kind of nice, but I'm not sure how the Canary stacks up against the other characters with what I've experienced so far. But let me know how you're feeling about your character choices. I know that there's a lot of elves out there. Elves seem to be the most popular, which I totally understand, given the fact that I love the elves and the elven lore. But Canary, it was just finally my time, you know. 4 Dragon Age games, and 4 playable races, which was really fun. Now, because we're going into the crossroads, and we're going to do potentially another Soulless memory, or at least get another soul statue, I'll bring Harding, given current events. And I'm also going to bring Balara. So we'll bring those 2 in. And we'll travel to the crossroads, we'll get some banter, and use our champion essence.
Every time we walk into the crossroads, I'm afraid I'll fall up instead of down.
It's the classic dwarven statement of like looking up into the sky and feeling like they're gonna fall, and then it's because in the Descent DLC, when we go all the way down, you start to see that it's because there's just like that deep fall, right? And you're like, oh, it all makes sense now. No voices today.
You've met Strife in Ireland before, right?
Varric and I did. We passed through Arlathan Forest while we were searching for Solus. Strife and Irulan helped us navigate the Fade.
Oh, I heard about that. Spatial anomalies and time loops. I wish I could have seen it.
Varric hated it so much, being outdoors and all. And when the outdoors is upside down and lost in time and you're harassed by spirits wearing your face, well...
Oh, that would be a nightmare for anyone, I think.
Harding and Varric, our dwarves, being like, every time I'm in the Fade, it's super weird.
Ranged incoming.
That's right. We'll just leave them be. Let the arm time roam the crossroads. I'm busy. We're going this way.
Look at that. The elven parts of these ruins aren't just bits from the Fade. We actually lived here.
The empty forest. This place used to be full of spirits who flocked to Solus's cause. When his ritual went wrong, when everything went wrong, he vanished, and the spirits stopped coming. Where are you, my friend? You stopped the Evanurus, but broke the world. Please tell me you didn't leave me to fix all this alone. Felisan. Wow. Oh, this is interestingly poetic then, because we've got it's like poetry, it rhymes. His ritual to put them away went wrong. And his ritual to move them also went wrong because we interrupted it. This is 2 for 2. This man did a ritual to put them away, knocked himself out and fell into like a 1,000-year slumber, woke up and said, I'm going to do it again. So everything went wrong and the spirits stopped coming. You broke the world and Felisan was left. So he was still here being like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, that's crazy. So what Solus intended to do with his ritual didn't go the way that it was supposed to. At least in Felisan's eyes. Because we did get that memory and he's like grunting and yelling out in pain. And I thought that was probably because he abhors the use of blood magic, but we've kind of seen a little bit of that with Solus, haven't we? And he was yelling out in pain, so I thought it was going to be something that came at great cost to himself to do. We shall see. Okay, Wolf Statuette is just sitting here, so not a Solus memory.
Another of those statuettes, the memory fragments.
Just out in the open?
Yeah. So 2 of the statuettes, I think, this one included, you just pick up. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ambush.
Okay, never mind.
Aha, I knew it!
Okay. Never mind. It was a trap!
Coming at range.
What happened to the last one that I picked up that I stumbled upon? Or am I having a brain fart moment? Oh my... What is this? What in the horns? This is like... What the fuck? Whoa, look at all the hands coming out of it. Jesus Christ. An unstoppable Reaver. Let me get a good look at your face. Whoa, dude. So it's like Darkspawn Arntarm. Because you can see remnants of the Arntarm armor. So when a Qunari becomes like blighted with the Darkspawn, they become ogres. But this is fucked up. This design is crazy. But it's like multiple Qunari in one. There's like some sort of fucking amalgamation of Qunari. They just shoved a bunch in here and a bunch of horns have sprouted out and hands and everything. That's crazy. Now, you see, everyone that's going to complain about how the Darkspawn look, they're not going to ever show you this as an example because then it would destroy their argument. Because look at that. That's fucking nuts. It's only the ogre that looks kind of goofy. Really? Like, I really love the one that looks like it's like a legionary with that helmet. So the Reaver is fighting with Arntarm though, so this is like this thing where the Arntarm have allied themselves with the gods. See ya. And they've went, hey, make us a war machine.
Statue was a fake. But if the Fade is mostly reflections of something else, the real one could be close.
Maybe we will have a memory after all. Oh, we have statues needing to face each other again. Alright. I'd say that's good enough. Oh, hang on, there's one over there. There you go. Nice. I have to make that one turn around to face this guy.
You gotta move!
Just avoid the raining hellfire.
Get out of there!
Break through! The Arntarm are trying to cut us off!
Let's see what they're defending!
Reavers are pretty wild. Oh, there's the statue and there's the Fen'Harel. The Fen'Harel statue and a ladder. Alright, gotcha.
Move! You bet!
There. I'd say that's where we're headed.
Ooh, okay. We'll go in there. Hold on. We'll just go down here first.
And another Fen'Harel altar.
And another Fen'Harel altar. The Trickster Wolf. A pantomime theatre mask of Fen'Harel. His narrative role changes with the curse of perspective. He has as many faces as names. His arrival is as much profanity as prayer. Oh, we got a missive. Those damned relics. Rook, the Vault Overseer makes sure someone always has an eye on the relics you helped us bring back. He gives me a dirty look whenever I try to get close. He even hissed at me one time. I suppose we can't take the risk. Someone definitely did something to make them even more dangerous. We're not sure who they are or why they did it. An enemy of the Veil Jumpers? Someone dedicated to chaos? Either way, a lot more of us would be dead if you hadn't come along when you did, so thank you. Yours, Elio. I see a fight.
We got company.
Oh, okay. The Sentinels aren't activated at the moment. Now they are. Ah, you're supposed to get kicked off the side. It would have been fun. There you go. See ya. See ya.
Behind you! End it now! For sure! Finish them off! Get clear!
See ya.
Ready to
Knock
go.
a few off of them. Ooh.
At the last of them?
The Fen'Harel altar. So equipping an ability of each damage type increases ability damage by 20% is one that I was eyeballing because we currently rock a fire, physical, necrotic ability spread. So 20% increase for us. And here's our statue.
You can tell this statuette is the real thing. A memory fragment. And not just because it was very well guarded.
Time to go view a memory in the Lighthouse. Who wants to go watch a movie? Me. Back to the Lighthouse we go. Now this is the final one, so I would assume put your seatbelts on. Before we do that, we'll talk to the companions so they don't move around. What do they got for me? What conversations can I eavesdrop in on today?
You read the notes on the Circle Road case?
The murdered Magister's aide? Killed with an arrow instead of magic. Hard to get an angle like that.
It is. Where would you take it from?
I don't know the place that well, but there's a tower not far that would get a clean shot. And good cover.
But if you were angry and in a hurry, if the shot were more lucky than planned.
Well, there's that bridge. Wait. Why are you asking me?
Why are you asking me? Maybe you could provide a unique insight.
So, does Manfred have, people, thoughts, and feelings?
His self-expression may be limited, but Manfred is as cognizant of his surroundings as you or I. To a certain degree.
Interesting. Does Manfred feel things? He got a heart in there. You have to pay the Asan toll every time.
Hey there, Rook.
Okay. He's like, will he notice that I'm here if I just stand here and just linger behind him?
Your coffee smells good.
Do you want the cup?
Nah, coffee messes with my guts. Smelling it's enough.
The obsession with coffee is driving me insane. Do not talk to me before I've had my morning coffee. That, like, trope, put it in the bin. He won't stop talking about his coffee. Help me, he's talking about his coffee again. Ooh, that's Inquisition. The final regret is the ending of Inquisition.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the Elven people? They deserve it.
The Elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Wow, they've recontextualized the ending.
Solus killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solus woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Wow. So the ending of Inquisition being the final regret when they have that conversation. I wish that they got Kate Mulgrew back, but if, they've mostly had a younger Mythal voice actor bringing in Kate Mulgrew just for like one line, you know, one conversation is probably quite difficult. And I was like, that would have helped to differentiate the time difference even more. New dialogue has been added into that scene. There's some familiarity there with like the "I'm sorry, too old" friend, and then her power is absorbed by Solus at the end. But it's a regret also. God damn.
Every big mistake Solus made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault, and hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the Veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solus thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
I don't know, guys. Why don't we go and ask him? He's in my head. I was wondering if we were going to get a sit down with Solus and talk about these regrets at some point, and it might come now that we've found the final regret. We might be like, let's actually get some clarification from the man. I'll be right back. I'll go and meditate. You know?
Solus has caused a lot of damage, but he's not like Elgernon, trying to wreck the world to rule it. He's trying to repair the damage he caused, and he knows he's made mistakes. There might be hope for him.
You don't think he'll turn on us?
Oh no, he's totally going to turn on us. I mean after that.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
The spirit of Mythal? But are we going to talk with Mythal? Oh, it's meet Morrigan in the crossroads. Alright, okay. I was like, we literally have like this final regret being like Mythal related and that absorption. And I'm just like, if there's like a death there, does she return to the... Did she return to the Fade? But no, Morrigan, which is close enough, right? Yeah, damn. All right, the Inquisition mural. That's truly amazing. And the new voice actor, like the younger Mythal voice, instead of our older one. I would have loved it if it was... I get it, though. I think it's because they needed to add new dialogue in, so they couldn't just copy-paste the old dialogue from the ending of Inquisition. It changes things a little bit, though. They wanted to change specifically what was said to fit the narrative of this game, and I get that. That makes sense. Because you want to be able to have a bit more clear communication between these two important characters. Okay, so we're going to learn more by meeting Morrigan at the crossroads. So we're not going to have a Solus meditation right now. We're going to go talk to Morrigan instead. Let's go and do that. I honestly think I'll keep the same party because Harding knows Morrigan and Bellara would probably dig the elven lore. So I'll bring them to speak with Morrigan. You're just right here. You're just hanging right outside for me. Okay, that's nice and easy.
Well met, Rook.
Malouette, to yourself. All right. Hello, Morrigan.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Alluvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Alluvians in general, yes, but not the Dread Wolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dread Wolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
Spirits. Spirits. It's like, wait, how do you know about this? Of course she knows about this. Something about spirits?
So, if Mythal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
Okay. All right, so Solus took the power from her, but the memories were not absorbed. Well, it'd explain why she put on her fancy little headdress. It's not the Well of Sorrows, but it's skirting that line, isn't it? Because this is different, but it's also so closely linked. It's getting into that dangerous territory of something that they can't acknowledge that I'm like, oh! All right. We've rambled on that enough, of course. We all know our thoughts and feelings on that. We're probably all in the same boat, but they're dangerously skirting that line when they open up the Morrigan lore box, aren't they? This is fascinating, though. So, Mythal / Flemeth's memories are residing with Morrigan, but it's not what we thought in terms of Inquisition establishing, like, you will become my vessel, you know? Morrigan seems to be quite Morrigan-like here, but just with Mythal and Flemeth's experiences. And you're her?
So you're the next host of Mythal?
Believe it or not, as you choose.
What are you doing to me?
What? That was like how Elganon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
Oh yeah, plenty. It seems likely in this instance that, with the way that it's being addressed, it's like it almost doesn't matter if Morrigan drank from the well because of this. Because it's similarly the same thing, except, you know, when Morrigan drank, she was bound to Mythal's will in that sense. But this seems to be different. Oh, I'm so glad we get to ask the questions. And this makes even more sense that not only have you got the headpiece, but when we first had the scene with Morrigan, I was like, she sounds like Claudia Black sounds like she's adapting Kate Mulgrew's Flemeth voice. There's a similar sort of cadence there with her age and wisdom over time coming through, which I really appreciated. And it does seem really quite intentional with this in mind, and I really, really love that. How did this all happen?
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
That is what happened. Yeah, we'll take a few details.
I don't think I'd recover from that.
Neither did I, at the start. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
God, that delivery is so good, and talking about that is so good. I think Morrigan is talking about the Inquisition scene where we had to run after her into the Evanurus. Not Evanurus. I meant to say Alluvians. I'm like, Evanurus? No, Alluvians. When we ran through the Alluvian, it feels like it could be that scene, but also it seems like it's worded in a way where it could have been much later on when maybe the Solus and Mythal scene happened, and then the blaze, this form of Mythal in the shape of her memories came to visit Morrigan as well. The description kind of fits the Inquisition scene, but it also could be a different moment that was exclusive to just Morrigan. Because the way that Morrigan and Flemeth had that conversation and how they spoke was very similar. I really loved that scene between mother and daughter. So having Morrigan reflect on it now, all these years later, is really, really beautiful.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Pride, huh? Yes, the elf-splaining was quite fun, wasn't it? Why aren't you elven on that subject?
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
Mythal's last host was Flemeth, technically, right? But Flemeth wasn't someone trapped by those swans. Oh no, I guess it does line up with her thing, because there was that story about, you know, Flemeth's kind of love story thing that went wrong, and then I guess would have been like driven out and then forced to reside and become the witch of the wilds. My brain also goes to Andraste stuff, because I already think about that theory of there being that Andrastian connection. But we won't shake the faith in the Maker anymore, will we? I think this is most likely talking about Flemeth, because that is who Mythal's last host was. It can also apply to the last host before Flemeth, too.
Do you have information we can use against Gillinan or Elganon, or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillinan, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right.
Wild. Evil Mapo be like, I don't want to ask any of those questions. I'll just move on. Imagine if we were just like, Morrigan's like, do you have questions? Nah. I don't care.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes. The Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
You know a lot. You visiting me in my dreams, too. What do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal, I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Wow. She won't stand with us against Solus. Amazing. All right.
Solus talks a lot about what has to be done, being forced to make hard choices. But it's like he's trying to talk himself into it. I think, deep down, he doesn't entirely believe what he's saying.
'Tis exactly like the old wolf to tie himself into the most intricate knots. 'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Man, having Morrigan with Flemeth / Mythal's memories, having Mythal and Solus in a sort of more than friends, kind of lovers, maybe not reciprocated both ways sort of relationship, and then having the Soul of Ellen romance of Inquisition, and then having Morrigan and the Inquisitor be best friends. They'd be like, that Solus guy. They both have a bit of a shared trauma with that fella. That's a great little thing to think about.
If that's what it takes.
Such determination. Have you not even a tremor of doubt?
Wouldn't do me any good.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you, find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Ah. Another fragment, like a fragment of Mythal born out of the dagger that struck her down. So, okay, that's interesting. So when Mythal was struck down by the dagger, part of her went inside the weapon that killed her, and then when Soulless killed Mythal, part of Mythal went into the person that killed her. How interesting. But then there's fragments, and the memories went to Morrigan, the power went to Soulless, and there's this sort of younger sister. That's bizarre.
Another fragment of Mythal, in addition to the one inside you.
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
Wow. Okay. The Morrigan sass is intact. You do realize what fragment means, do you not, silly boy? Now, we've both gotten Claudia Black's Morrigan's praise and sass when we were like, yeah, they're spirits. And she's like, very good. I'm like, thank you. And then she's like, you stupid boy. You know what a fragment is? I'm like, I'm sorry. One more question for you. Why are you still here?
All of that sounded great until I survived the encounter.
You know Soulless, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Gillenane, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
Oh, I do love Morrigan talking about this younger fragment of Mythal that just really feels like she's talking about herself in Dragon Age Origins. You talking about you right now? Or are you talking about Mythal? Are we still talking about the same person? That's great. I love the explanation of likes this, doesn't like this. Prickly.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Soulless, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
Yeah, that's the story. The Alamari chieftain one.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elganon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Huh. Damn. Alright. Benevolence. Andraste was quite benevolent.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
Very good talk. I liked that a lot. Ah, yes, you guys were here too. Nothing for you guys to say. Obtain Mythal's essence. So this path has been open to us. Recommended level 5 to 40. Magical artifacts. Alright, yep. Indeed. Shall we? A new boat to a new area of the crossroads.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole. Prevail, or be sundered completely.
Well, alright. Hopefully Harding and Bellara will be
Getting
good.
close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was.
Nest of the Ancients. What party... what setup should I have? Because I don't know if there'll be dialogue that they'll acknowledge it. And I think... Bellara? But I'll change some abilities, and... I think Emmerich could be really quite nice too. I'll have Emmerich for his healing. Do that. You two!
That has to be her.
Mythal herself. There's so much we could learn if... Do you think she might talk to us instead of attacking?
Guess we'll find out.
Now, my question before we jump into this is... Are you turning into a dragon? Or not? It's a pretty big arena. It's a pretty big arena. Interesting. What do you look like from the front?
You
oh,
are
wow.
Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never thought to see Kunari, who did not yet exist in my time, scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solus. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganan and Gillenane have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
Huh. Wow. Or do you want to help? Qunari, who did not exist in my time, scouring the crossroads, and I guess doing nothing but being able to watch would be a learning experience. You're like, who are these guys? It would be painful to be just a fragment of who you used to be, restricted to one area, cursed only to watch what transpires.
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solus's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganan and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
Solus is helping me.
Solus is using you. Besides, why should I esteem the Dreadwolf's approbation? He rebelled against me.
But the two of you stay close.
Until he killed the tattered fragment of me who hid inside the human swamp witch and wept. You are Qunari, your people bond in different manners than mine. Can you even understand what it is to battle with someone and love them even still? That is what Solus and I are to one another. Tell me this. What should I have done when Solus turned against me after all we had been to one another?
Wow. That's some good dialogue. I'll tell you that much. I like that. I like how she talks about this.
Maybe you should have listened when he warned you about staying on as rulers after the war.
Are you saying I was wrong?
You asked me what you should have done. I can't prove my worth by lying to you. Solus didn't want to manifest a physical body or destroy the Titans. He did things he hated because he cared about you. Supporting you and Elganan becoming rulers was the one line he wouldn't cross. If someone who followed you everywhere refused to follow you there, what does that say?
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
This is good because this is talking to Mythal, needing to keep in mind what Morrigan has said to us about this. Do not pity her. Do not say, I'm sorry that that happened. Righteous anger is good. She's prickly though. And this is a true test. Has Apocalypse learned how to deal with a prickly prickly woman? Why are you still here? So we're going to go through all of these.
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the Blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solus defeated them.
And?
Which is crazy.
And The Blight only happened because of what you did. You need to fix your mistake.
My mistake? I saved lives and ended a war, you petulant child. Your words are weak. Prove your worth or die.
Are you becoming a dragon in front of me now? I said the wrong thing! Yep, we're becoming a dragon. I have not learned. I thought that saying fixing your mistake could be from a place of righteous anger.
Quite formidable.
Mythal's retribution. Okay, level 45. Hello. Well, I don't think we're able to kill this dragon right now, I'll tell you that much. Haven't fought a dragon in a while. This music is fucking crazy. Literally, like, gets back up, gets smacked.
Get clear. Ready for
that one up!
Summoning... don't summon people to fight by your side. You're already level 45 and I'm fighting you way too early anyway. Can't we just talk about this?
Watch ahead.
So wait, I gotta fight these guys as well as Flemeth. Alright. That's crazy. Oh, they're gone. Okay. I need to remember what this fucking green rune of mine does. Current potions are applied. Okay. That's alright.
Great Valara!
was outside of that barrier. Fuck off. Man, Tosh would have loved this. Moved out of the way.
Move quickly. At the ready. That one, quickly.
Why didn't that rune work? Come on, bro. You're supposed to be weakened. Jesus Christ. Laws of Fortune Strength. God, Tash would have loved that. When a level 27 beats a level 45 Mythal. Do you think I am worthy now? Am I worthy now? Did I earn that shit? Because that was locked in concentration. Holy shit, dude. Oh, that was so fun. Holy crap. I've pulled out my headphones. Hold on. All right, my word. That was a really fun dragon fight, huh? Well, I'm taking your essence by force.
It's ours. The essence of a god.
This is to save everyone. She'll understand. Eventually.
It burns just being near it. This is the power we need to finish this.
Strength requires knowledge. How shall we use it?
I think the moment is coming. When we can turn the tide, we'll know.
Okay. How interesting. Regrets of the Dreadwolf completed. We have a Joker. We've got an ace in the hole. We've got a card up our sleeve. How many more ways can I say this? We defeated the proud and angry fragment of Mythal that met them in battle. We have a magical keepsake, the kernel of her essence, which may be useful in a future fight. That's actually a wild card, for sure. The definition of a wild card. And we got to fight a dragon, a high dragon, of course. Our second time fighting Mythal as a dragon. You know, coming from Dragon Age Origins to now. I'm going to go and tell Tash all about it. I didn't think I was going to win going into that, but I was like, we'll just do the fight and see how we go. And then I committed, and we did it. And that was fun, too. Mythal's Grace. A medallion bearing the symbol of Mythal, ringed with the notes of a song inscribed in spectral notation, music that cannot be heard in this world. Curious. Indeed. Okay. That's a interesting thing. The song, hey? Now, the elven people. Fragments of Mythal. Excerpt of a letter from Seer Rowan of the Lords of Fortune to Emmerich and Balara. It is fascinating to hear of your group's encounter with the fragment of Mythal. I love that this is to Emmerich and Balara, and we took them along for this too, because I'm like, Emmerich with spirit stuff, Balara, elven stuff. That could really be fun. It is fascinating to hear of your group's encounter with the fragment of Mythal. If the elven gods are indeed spirits who manifested, they were complex enough to hold a variety of impulses and emotions. When Mythal was killed, each fragment might represent one part of her personality. Excerpt of Balara's reply. Yes, when I asked the Dalish about Flemeth, she carried Mythal before Morrigan did. I learned that among the Dalish clans, she was known as a Shah Belinar, respected as a mage even though she was human. It sounds like even though she wasn't trying to rule anyone, she still wanted to help, or meddle. Mythal and Flemeth both liked to meddle. An excerpt of Emmerich's reply. Indeed, it raises the question of whether the fragment of Mythal that Morrigan carries was more naturally tied to guidance and wisdom than the more imperious spirit we met in the crossroads. They may be different facets of Mythal's personality, the mentor as opposed to the ruler. The fragments may have also originally been closer in personality, deviating over the years. One imagined Flemeth's fragment must have been changed after centuries spent with mortals, and perhaps the Crossroads fragment grew frustrated by her own inability to affect the outside world. It could also very well be a mixture of the above. A spirit, like any person, may affect others and be affected by others in turn. That is really, really good, because you've got a version of Mythal that is very fresh from the Evanurus and that element, like that side of history. And then you have the Mythal that has lived for centuries with mortals in this world of Solus's making. Solus hasn't done that. Solus comes fresh out of this younger, angrier Mythal perspective, and Solus is younger. He's been in slumber this whole time, and he hasn't spent the time that Mythal has here. I really like that thought process. I'm going to save my game here after defeating this Dwagon, but what we're going to do as well is I'm going to reload to before the Morrigan conversation, the Flemeth fight. How long did it take to fight? I'd say, was it 12 minutes? I don't know. Was it this one? We'll load back before the conversation and see how we can tackle this conversation differently, because more Mythal dialogue is not a bad thing at all. So I just wanted to take that. I'll need to pick this up. Did I run past this? I did. The Trader's Last Word. I'll read this now, but I'll pick it up in my actual previous save file as well. The stone nearby bears the gouges of titanic claws. A message has been carved shakily into the ground with a broken tooth. They accused me of treachery against Fen-Harel and cast me down from the heights. I protested my innocence then. I protest it now. Crawling with my limbs shattered, but there is no one to hear. So I offer myself up for the execution that once most pleased the god. May the name of Nunael be cleansed with flame. Wow. Okay. And there's a chest up there, which I can get from somewhere. Alright, let's have this conversation. Oh, hang on. This autosave is from... Alright, that autosave is from specifically the fight. So that's just if you die and then you run in. This autosave has got to be before the conversation. Right? God. Or has it double auto-saved me? It's double auto-saved me. This is interesting. Okay. Go back even further to the temporary chapter save, which is an hour beforehand. Interesting. That doesn't feel right to me. So I've reloaded the temporary chapter save, which is right up to the point where we were watching the final regret cutscene, and then I just had to blast through that and speaking to Morrigan again, picking the same dialogue options, and then I've saved, and now we're here, so we can talk to Mythal, because this is how I'm preferring things to go. Instead of fighting a level 45 high dragon, I want to see if we could talk some sense into Mythal. That's my preference.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never thought to see Kunari, who did not yet exist in my time, scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganan and Gillenane have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
I want your help.
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world, and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganan and Gillenane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
Well, let's go for a better... let's go for a softer approach, shall we? Instead of the sharp dragon version. The way that Mythal speaks is excellent. And I do wonder if Trick Weeks also wrote this Mythal-related dialogue. The way that Mythal speaks here, if you literally replaced these lines with Solas's voice actor and the same cadence in how they are spoken, it feels almost exact. I can hear so much of Solas's delivery in these lines, which is pretty fun. I think it's that sort of high and mighty attitude that makes it so similar. I'm going to do this again because this seemed to help us when we reached a point. She's like, it's something, but it's not enough.
Solas is helping me.
Solas is using you. Besides, why should I esteem the Dreadwolf's approbation? He rebelled against me.
But the two of you stay close.
Until he killed the tattered fragment of me who hid inside the human swamp witch and wept. You are Kunari, your people bond in different manners than mine. Can you even understand what it is to battle with someone and love them even still? That is what Solas and I are to one another. Tell me this. What should I have done when Solas turned against me after all we had been to one another?
I do love the Kunari-specific mentions that come into this one. But you don't know me, lady.
Maybe you should have listened when he warned you about staying on as rulers after the war.
Are you saying I was wrong?
You asked me what you should have done. I can't prove my worth by lying to you. Solas didn't want to manifest a physical body or destroy the Titans. He did things he hated because he cared about you. Supporting you and Elganan becoming rulers was the one line he wouldn't cross. If someone who followed you everywhere refused to follow you there, what does that say?
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
Now we must stop the blight. Felt like dangerous territory. Forget it.
I am worthy of your help.
That is for me to judge.
I am fighting to protect this world.
Any petty tyrant can fight those who come to their land and claim to be protecting their people. What is a protector to you?
Ooh. I'm trying to be like you is an interesting one. I don't think that is right. This feels good.
It's making a place that's safe for everyone. That means defending against danger. But it also means building a strong community that works together for the common good.
And what have you built?
Look at my team. We're not just hired blades. We started as strangers and grew together into a family.
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I have a team, and they have a book club. I'm not invited, of course, because I'm busy building the safe place that I just mentioned. But they get along just fine, and I get along with them one-on-one. And, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so... let's see. Okay, well, Stop the Blight led to a fight. But also because I think that I was like, it's your fault! Okay.
You can't want Elganon and Gillenane to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet the world needs rulers. So set the Blight aside and tell me why I should help you topple them.
Oh, man. I'm torn now. Put the Blight aside and we need no gods, because... and God, it's a very soulless thing to say. Because he's like... you know, they won a war and they ascended to godhood, self-made gods, the Evanurus. I don't think we need gods.
We don't need gods of any kind protecting us.
Is that so? You are a petulant child who complains that your room does not have enough pretty toys. You've no idea how many monsters lurk outside the walls of the house your parents created to keep you safe. Your words are weak.
Ow! Damn it. Maybe I should have gone for put the Blight aside. I avoided the Blight one specifically because how the Blight went before.
Prove your worth or die.
No, I refuse. I'm talking you down. Get back down here, you dragon. We're talking.
Wow. She's enormous.
Yes, she is. And she's about to get a talking to. All right, Mythal, let's try this one again, shall we? So, remember when I said we must stop the gods? Yes.
You can't want Elganon and Gillenane to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet the world needs rulers. So set the Blight aside and tell me why I should help you topple them.
Okay. Ugh, well, if we need no gods is like, you're a petulant child, and put the Blight aside, ugh, it's diving into Blight territory. We have a secret, a not so secret, third option. They wronged you. Which is also true. Come on, they wronged you.
What they did to you was wrong.
And you care so deeply for the injustice done to me thousands of years ago.
You deserve justice. And they deserve to be punished for misusing their power and killing you when you tried to check them.
Your arguments are compelling. I find you worthy, Rook. I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, This is what remains of me. I give it to you freely. Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will. Thank you.
I offer one further boon. I cannot enter the physical world or the pure Fade, but in this place, I still carry some power. Evil has intruded here. The Blight, seeded by Elganon and Gillenane. Find it, and when you meet your greatest challenge, I will fly one last time.
Dude. Alright, now that feels much better. Emmerich greatly approves.
Yes, God.
Mythal and Ust.
Like a piece of the sun. I've never felt something so alive.
Well done. But we must find a purpose for this wonder.
The god knows her moment. At least her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready.
Damn, even the dialogue about it is so much better, dude. Whoa!
We got Mythal's essence.
I got a sword too. And, oh, Veil Jumper's strength instead of Lords of Fortune strength, because taking out a dragon gets you Lords of Fortune rep. Wow. Alright, this is much better. I love being freed from the chains of no reloads in Baldur's Gate 3, because I can just be like, nope, that's not the choice that I want. I wanted a cool dragon fight, just for some fun. In terms of story purposes, though, I wanted to win with my words, and that felt so much better. So we got the best of both worlds. We got to witness a cool dragon fight, and then we got to do this. And this is fun because it's like the element of the past Dragon Age playthroughs where we saw one outcome and then was like, I want to see the other one. It's great. We have been deemed worthy and everything felt nicer. Greatly approves from Emmerich. Even the pop-up of gaining Mythal's favor instead of wrestling it from her. That feels good. Willingly surrendered her essence and the power now rests safely with the team. And we got a cool sword instead.
And we didn't even have to fight her.
Not sure what we do with it just yet, but if Morrigan's telling the truth, it'll come in handy at some point.
Yeah, we didn't even have to fight her. It's cool because we get to see what the fight is like, but we also get to see this instead. So the fragments of Mythal is good. And then we have another skill point, which is also good. So we'll go back there. And then we have a blade, a unique blade. Oh, 0 physical damage. Oh, hang on. It's an elemental sword. So 0 physical, but it deals 80 of each element. Cool. So technically it does 320 damage, but in a bunch of different sources. So if one's got resistance to an element, it's going to be a bit weird. And that night, when the sun had gone to sleep, Mythal gathered the glowing earth and formed it into a sphere to be placed in the sky. The glowing earth, the Titans. I'll rock that sword for a bit and see how it originally looks. An interesting weapon, indeed. Bit short on the blade, but no, very, very good. Alright, the Fallen Protector memento. A pantomime theatre mask of Mythal. In narrative, she is the portent that spurs the story, suffering first and most the forces that wish the tale untold and the hero unsung. Dragon fight averted. There is still the element of getting up this way, because there is a chest. I assume if we go down, there will be a way around. Through here. Okay. Wonderful. I don't know if there's anything specifically over there. That's just where Dragon sits. This is awesome, though. Got some Mythal statues. And Mythal's Grace. A medallion bearing the symbol of Mythal, ringed with the notes of a song inscribed in spectral notation, which cannot be heard in this world. Okay. And what's in the chest? Pale Reflection Amulet and gold and through the veiled decor. Nice. Damage versus enemies with low health. Standard enemies are now always considered to have low health. Oh, wow. Wow. And defeating an enemy grants 5% ultimate. She saw their weak hearts and struck them down. Damn, 2 uniques from that. A refuge for Mythal. Solus always thought Mythal would join us eventually, that she was better than the rest of the Evanuris. He made this place so she'd be comfortable here once she joined the rebellion, and now it's too late. Solus has sealed this place off out of grief. He won't let me in. I'm sorry, my friend. There was something left for the war to take from you after all. Damn. Alright. That was incredible. And now with that in mind, we find ourselves at a crossroads of what to do next. We're still waiting for the Evka and Antoine at the Hosberg wetlands, but that's a whole other area, which is why I'm kind of thinking about doing of the factions and the region quests and sort of focusing on those. So let's go find the haunting in Arlethan Forest, because we're an appropriate level for that. Before we head into Arlethan Forest, however, to take on this haunting, we'll talk to our characters in the Lighthouse, and then we're also going to have a look at something in regards to the Canary complexion. Something I didn't realize is the latest patch that came out today, adding some stuff, added some new complexions for the Canary face, and I'm kind of hoping that we'll get something a little bit more rugged, but we shall see. We'll check that out too.
Chakra Toebra. Chakra Toebra. Stupid crisp consonants.
Your consonants sound pretty crisp to me. I like the way Canary sounds when you speak it.
Nah, I'm saying it wrong.
That's what Shathan says? She's real hard on you, huh?
She's trying to teach me. Like a Tamasran.
I don't think that's a Tamasran thing. I think it's a mom thing.
It's a mom thing. Okay, Emmerich is out there on his own. Everyone else is hanging outside. Hey guys, do you think Varric needs some sun?
There's some very interesting valences in the ether today.
I am really impressed with the sheer amount of like companion dialogue in the Lighthouse. There's a lot of it, and a lot of interactions.
Wardens have griffins.
What of it?
It's another secret your order's been keeping.
What does that mean?
Wardens act like the heroes of Thedas, but they hide just as many shadows as they fight.
And your crows are saints?
No, but we don't pretend to be. We're honest about our work.
The crows being saints, yeah. Interesting. Don't mind me, guys. Just here to pet us on. But yeah, you leave, you come back, and the companions shift around. They have dialogue on their own, dialogue with other characters. That element of it is really impressive. So they put a lot of work into that. They just forgot me.
That veil bubble we found you in, how often do those happen in Arlethan?
Sometimes, often, never. Depends on the day, and they're unpredictable. And with Elgranon and Gillenine loose, who knows what might get twisted up.
Well, isn't that a treat?
Inherent instability and survival uncertainty aside, they really are fascinating.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, is that That's it with our group. Wonderful. Alright. To the mirror! I must look upon my face and see the new complexion options.
Manifestation.
Our enemies are gods, Rook. Nobody fights those alone. That's why Solus lost and why you'll win. He always thought his attachments were a tragic flaw he had to overcome. But they're a strength.
Solus did lose because we took down some scaffolding. But yes. Alright, where's my complexions? What do we got that's new? Oh, dude, they did it. They added Shokari, and look, it makes the horn, it fixes the forehead. Oh, yes. There it is. They did it. They did it. They fixed the forehead. Oh, very good. That's all that was needed. Look at the difference of that just does to you, you know? That's so good. Very happy with that. Just a minor tweak is definitely worth it. Shikari is what we are going for. Hell yes. Alright. I feel very good about that. Took the paint off. Fixed the forehead. Very, very nice. Alright. You have to accept and then finalize. There you go. So pleased. I even think that I'll probably end up making the hairs look better. But, you know, we're not going to put Mapo Q in a wig now. What we are going to do is go back through the crossroads. And we'll pick a nice team. And then we're going to deal with this haunting in Arlathan Forest. So we'll take Balara because it's the forest. And I think we'll just continue taking Tash with us as well. Because Balara and Tash were having a lovely conversation together. So maybe we'll get some nice updates on that.
Watch ahead.
Treasure hunters I run into aren't like you. The Lords of Fortune, I mean. It's surprising.
Oh, you thought we were assholes?
No. Well, maybe a bit. Before, but not now. Most treasure hunters don't care. They take whatever's shiny to try and sell it, no matter how important it is.
Right. Assholes. The Lords like treasure, but we do it right. We have Shiv for elf stuff and my mother for Kunari stuff.
That's surprisingly respectful.
Also keeps us from getting cursed and crap.
It is surprisingly respectful, especially with piracy. They are good-natured pirates. Think of that what you will. They're basically treasure hunters, not pirates. I guess Morrigan would have returned to the Veil Jumpers camp also. I I should sell some stuff to this vendor for veil jumper strength.
Any more word on who this
Morrigan's not here anymore.
Rook, good job taking care of those darkspawn. We'll keep an eye out for more.
Scary Morrigan rumors. Okay.
You get it. Looking to inflict some pain? I have what you need.
Veil jumper upgrade, please, and I'll sell you some more valuables while we're at it. The Unwinding Box Memento is an intricate puzzle box of Tevinter origin. Each lock opened and appears to unwind the progress of another. The whirring of mechanisms is audible inside, but it seems impossible to open. And the first is carved more permanent than she became. Asher Belinar, once and again Mythal, who refused when the gods hungered and was punished with horrible freedom from their plans. It is cool that you can at least read these memento descriptions, even if they're locked. An uneven roseate crystal known as Fool's Lyrium. It bears memories engraved in a Venatori cipher.
Send your friends my way. Tell them Amelia will set them up right.
Tell him Amelia will set him up right. I will. I wonder where Morrigan's decided to plant herself now. If you could find her, or I guess we'll have to wait and find out. It would be nice if Morrigan was just in the lighthouse. There's a Fenrirel altar that I apparently have not touched. Oh, hang on. Nice, there you go. Sharpened hook knife for Davrin. Wood carving tool ideal for sweeping upward strokes. Sharp edge creates razor thin shavings. That taunt of his. Which direction are you facing? Oh, there. It's that thing. Thank you. Now we go to the haunting. So we'll go here. Nocturnix.
That could be the haunting spirit Myrna told us about.
The Veil Jumpers talk about a spirit roaming these woods. Since the gods showed up, we call it the Nocturnix. I heard its sleep was stolen by the gods. So now, it steals other people's dreams.
How interesting. Probably would be good for Emmerich to be doing this, actually, now that I think about it, but that's okay. We'll take him to the other ones.
That's one less spirit stirring up trouble.
Arlathan sure doesn't need any more. Trouble, that is. Maybe now he'll get the sleep that was stolen from him.
Perhaps that kick to the face is enough to wake anyone up. We do have a demon to track here as well. So find the demon. Let's go take a look.
Hey, take a look over there. Right. Where were we?
You disturb my sleep. Now you interrupt my journey in the waking world.
The Formless One.
Sounds like the trapped demon in the necropolis.
He's agreed to change you. I'll flay you alive before you find the treasure I've prepared.
You gotta move!
Enemies at range!
Righto! Nice work! Ready!
Ready!
That spot, move!
Nice. Deleted. One watch strength. The guards brought us.
It sounded exactly like the one trapped behind that sealed door in the necropolis.
Did it get loose?
The note I found said we had to defeat lesser demons before we could reach the one sealed away. But maybe it was wrong and they're all the same demon.
Which is a fun thought. Fighting the Formless One is really, really neat. Alright. We return to the Lighthouse. And we'll take Emmerich for the future hauntings and demons, I reckon. That is probably the smart thing to do. And companions have moved around once more. And here's another thing that is important is if you go back to the Lighthouse, you save, and then you reload back into the game, it will change the companion placements again. So you really have to, if we travel back to the Lighthouse, we have to make sure that we get the dialogue before we exit. Otherwise, we miss it, because it'll shift into something new.
Spot any good books, Emmerich?
Hundreds. Works on mimetic transfusion, votively enkindled runes, lost forms of spirit communion. Meanwhile, Harding discovered a lurid novel about a blood-soaked castle somehow.
You know if she's done with it?
Ah, the book club. Love the book club, guys. Love that energy of that book club. Who else wishes to speak with the boss? Everyone else is hanging out here. Tasha's by herself.
Your warden contacts, Efka and Antoine, you think they'll come through?
They'll try.
Well, it's more than we've gotten from the first warden. Where'd you meet them anyway?
It was the Deep Roads. They were there on warden business. Varric and I were after Solus. We didn't tell them at the time, of course. But you survive a Deep Stalker attack together, and you make fast friends.
Apparently Evka and Antoine are also from the novels, so that would be a novel story.
Hey, Lucanus, you haven't seen a glowing crystal, have you? About this big?
In the pantry?
It, might be moving around. Crawling, even.
I'll keep watch.
Alright, and that is where we're going to bring this episode of Dragon Age the Veilguard to a close today. Really nice to get a closure on the regrets of the Dreadwolf quest. Then having a good conversation with Morrigan, a very, very good conversation with Morrigan. Another good conversation with Mythal that led to a dragon fight that then led to talking her down. Let's just pretend that it all happened in one go. We fought and then we spoke some more. It's like, you know what? You've earned my respect and my blessing. So that's good enough for me. We have a beautiful looking forehead now. It's all looking up in the world. I love this arrangement that we have going on here. It's really good. That even fits on there quite well too for some face paint. But that is where we'll end it today. Next time, we'll continue doing some more of the region-related quest lines, and I think it'll probably be time to push into Evka and Antoine. So we're going to a brand new region, the Hossberg Wetlands. We're going in the direction of the Anderfells, which is going to be some fresh new lore for us to take in. Thank you so much for watching today. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.